Oh hey, what's up you guys? Yes, today is going to be another day where we talk about urban legends. And today's urban legend is one of the scariest to me because it's one that affects me personally on a pretty much nightly basis. Today we're going to be talking about shadow people. A shadow person is kind of like a ghost, but a little bit different. Now, the legend of shadow people has been around pretty much since the beginning of time. Shadow people are usually seen when you wake up in the middle of the night. They have the shape of a man, but they don't have any of the features. They're basically all black. They appear out of nowhere, and they can disappear in a second. They can dart from one corner of the room to the other. Sometimes it feels like they're not even walking, they're just floating. And sometimes they can crawl up onto your bed, sit on your chest, and stare at you. But because they don't have any eyes, it's even scarier. It's just a figure right in front of your face. Some people think the reason that shadow people are here is to watch us or guard us, kind of like a guardian angel. Others believe it's a little bit darker. Now, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of people who have talked about witnessing shadow people. They have written blogs about it. They have had video interviews about it. There's been documentaries about it. And all their stories are kind of the same. They wake up in the middle of the night. They look out of the corner of their eye. They see something standing there. When they see it, they are frozen in fear. They can't move. Their heart starts to race. They feel like they can't speak. They can't breathe. All they can do is stare at the shadow and hope to God it goes away. And then they close their eyes as hard as they can, open it back up again, and it's gone. Now, some people have said that the shadow person they see is wearing a large hat. People believe that the hatted figure is more evil. It is not here to protect you. It is not here to watch you. It is here to get something from you. In some cases, people have seen this hatted figure so much that they don't want to sleep, so they take caffeine pills. Some of them have ended up in institutions because they can't deal with it. And a lot of doctors think it's a medical disorder, or maybe it's our eyes playing tricks on us, but honestly, I don't think that's what it is. Here's one man's experience. It was 1995. I was in bed, asleep, when I felt my torso moving slightly up and down. When I awoke, I saw a shadow on top of me, straddling me. I looked at it. It had no features or gender, just a silhouette of a person. It was pitch black. I glanced really fast around the room, trying to compare it to the darkness that was around me, but nothing could match it. When I focused back at it, it leaned forward, stared at me face to face. I turned my head to one side and screamed as loud as I could. All the dogs started barking. At the same time, it sat upright and lunged into my chest. At that moment, I prayed so hard. Then the figure was gone. Since then, I've had no reoccurrence. Now, obviously, there's not much video evidence of shadow people because, people can't just grab a camera in the middle of the night. There was one video I found of a shadow person walking through a store in the middle of the day. Now listen, I don't know how real this is, but it's interesting nonetheless, so check it out. I don't know. I know it looks kind of fake, but it still makes me really creeped out. But the videos I am going to show you today are more related to something called sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis is a phenomenon where people are either falling asleep or just waking up and they aren't able to move. They can't speak, they can't react, they're literally stuck in their body. But their mind is working and they're awake, they can hear what's going on around them. So if you've never experienced this, imagine you're sleeping and then you start to wake up and you open your eyes and you see your room and you're like, okay, time to get up for the day, but you can't move. And you're trying to move as hard as you can. And you're trying to move your fingers, but you can't move your fingers. And you're trying to scream, but you can't scream. You're trying to tell somebody to wake you up, but they can't wake you up. It's honestly the most terrifying thing I've ever felt in my entire life. And I get it like 4 times a week. Now, some doctors say that you could get it more if you suffer from anxiety, if you sleep on your back, if you have a bad sleeping schedule, like if you fall asleep during the day, whatever it is, I get it a lot. Here's one man showing his experience and showing what he looks like while he's going through it. Check it out.
And look at my leg, it's twitching, so I'm starting to wake up, but my eyes aren't open just yet. And so you're going to also start to hear my breathing become more and more labored as I start to panic, basically. And I'm trying to make noise. You can see me shaking just a little bit, my fingers going, keep an eye on the fingers, and my head as well starts to twitch. I'm trying to speak or call out to the nurses, but it's just coming out as a kind of a snorting snore. There's my finger moving, and my eyes are open now, and you're going to start to see my head try and move. There you go. And this is what it looks like, kind of like a seizure. And you can see my eyes going, and I'm just getting more and more panicked. And then finally, and then it's over. In one last burst of energy, it's gone.
And that's exactly how it is. And sometimes it's even worse. I've had sleep paralysis last for like an hour. Now, a lot of people have linked sleep paralysis to seeing shadow people, except for it is commonly referred to as the night hag. So the night hag is basically just another term for shadow person. And it's when you're having sleep paralysis and you open your eyes and you see this person sitting on top of you, staring at you, holding your chest down. She makes it hard for you to breathe, impossible for you to move. It's almost like she's grabbing onto your whole body, keeping you where you are. So obviously doctors are trying to figure out why this happens. Maybe sleep paralysis triggers something in your brain to make you see things or hallucinate, but there hasn't been any actual real proof. So personally, what I feel is when you're in that state and you're that vulnerable where your body is like not moving but your mind and your soul are, it's not surprising that ghosts or shadows or whatever would want to come and see you. A lot of alien abductions also take place during that time. It's what a lot of people who've been abducted say, that they were having sleep paralysis when it happened. I don't know, it's all really scary. Now for my personal experience, if you've been watching my channel for a while and if you read my book, you would know that I have dealt with it for pretty much my whole life. I put up a short film on this channel a couple months ago. I'll link that down there. But basically I was younger, I was like 13, 14 I think, when I first started experiencing astral projection, which I'll talk about in a different video. But there was an experience that happened, I think when I was around 22 I think, and I was in bed and I opened my eyes and I saw this dark shadow. But I was also astral projecting. That sounds very confusing. Whatever. I got into a battle with this shadow and it was cold and it was evil and it was this long battle and it was floating through the air and I was floating with it, and then I finally woke up into my body, and honestly it was the most intense, insane experience of my life. And I explained it very badly, so go watch the short film. But another experience I had was with my grandma. So she was at my house one night and I was sharing a bedroom with her. I was on the floor, she was in the bed. In the middle of the night, I woke up to go to the bathroom and I looked over at my grandma on her bed and she was shaking. I turned on the light and I was like, "Grandma, what's wrong?" She told me that when she woke up, she saw a shadowed man standing right in front of her bed. She said she couldn't move. She said she couldn't breathe. She said she was panicking. She said she couldn't talk. She said that when I said, "Grandma, what's wrong?" it went away. Now listen, my grandma was not a spiritual person. She didn't believe in ghosts. She didn't believe in any of that shit. So for somebody like her to experience that, that must have been very real. So tell me your story. Have you ever experienced shadow people or sleep paralysis? Let me know down in the comments. Also tell me what urban legend you want me to talk about next. Alright you guys, I'm gonna go. Hope you had fun scaring with me and fun scaring with you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Make sure to subscribe because I make new videos every single day, and give my video a thumb up. Alright guys, have a good night's sleep and good luck.
Is there a toy inside?
Yeah, you just go.
No. Or you can just open it. Literally just open it.
I did it!
Oh!
That was very messy. That was stupid. Okay.
And